Midnight, the kind of absolute black that swallows stars, out here. Hundreds of nautical miles from the nearest terrestrial light. The sea and sky merge into an indistinguishable void. Yet, somewhere in that void, a city moves, not just any city, but a 3-football field expanse of sovereign American steel and aircraft carrier, the apex predator of the modern ocean. And tonight, like so many nights before, she's preparing to unleash hell, and then gather her children back, all without a single headlight, no runway beacons, no welcoming glow to pierce the oppressive dark. The uninitiated would call it madness. We call it Tuesday. The question always arises, especially from those fresh from civilian life or even other branches. Why the blackout? Cruise liners blaze like festive islands. Cargo ships are strung with lights like maritime Christmas trees. Even our smaller combatants destroyers, cruisers carry regulation navigation and deck lighting. But the supercarrier, the most advanced, most powerful warship ever conceived, a ghost, a phantom on the waves. The answer isn't a quirk of naval tradition, nor a daredevil's boast. It's a brutal equation etched in the steel of lost ships and the blood of sailors. If they can see us, we've already lost. Let's dissect this. Over the open ocean, light behaves like a desperate fugitive. There are no buildings, no trees, no urban sprawl to absorb its escape. Every stray photon, even from a hand-held torch on deck, can skip across the flat water, amplified by reflection, visible for over 10 nautical miles on a clear night of betrayal. A headlight on a carrier, a massive, forward-facing beam, it wouldn't illuminate a damn thing of use in that vast, featureless expanse. No lane markings, no curves to follow, just a compass bearing and the infinite black. But what it would do is paint a target the size of a small town for any hostile eye, sensor, or incoming munition. In the modern battle space, with night vision technology that turns midnight into midday, thermal imagers that sniff out the faintest heat signature, and satellite optics capable of pinpointing a cigarette glow from orbit, a bright light isn't illumination, it's a death warrant. One errant gleam off the hull, and you're not just visible, you're vulnerable. Your course, speed, and even class telegraphed to the enemy. And it's not just about stealth, it's about preserving the fighting edge of our own. Flood that flight deck with bright, white light, and you instantly destroy the night vision, meticulously adapted by every soul on board. For the pilots, threading the needle onto a pitching deck at 150 knots, that's specific. Low light environment is critical. Brightness doesn't make it safer. It makes the approach a deadly gamble. So how does this 100,000-ton Titan, hurtling at 30 knots through pitch black waters, avoid catastrophe and conduct complex flight operations? She doesn't need conventional eyes. She has sensors. At the heart of her perception is radar. Those massive, spinning arrays aren't just detecting blips. They're building a dynamic, 360-degree digital battlespace map, calculating speed, bearing, size, and intent of everything from a fishing skiff to a supersonic threat, day or night. Below the surface, sonar, integrated with data from her escort screen and deployed sonobuoys, listens for the telltale signature of a lurking submarine. The Combat Information Center, the CIC, deep within the armored citadel of the hull, is the ship's brain. Here a torrent of data, radar, sonar, satellite feeds, electronic intelligence intercepts is fused into a comprehensive, real-time picture. The crew in CIC sees everything. Lights would only get in the way. On deck, it's a ballet of controlled illumination. Flight operations proceed under a doctrine known as EMCON emissions control. Under full EMCON, the carrier strike group goes electronically silent. Radio, radar, and yes, light. Catapult crews use shielded, low-intensity flashlights. Landing signal officers LSOs might wear subtle glow tape. Pilots rely on their heads-up displays, HUDs, and infrared beacons invisible to the naked eye. Deck edge lighting, small, flush-mounted, low-intensity points of reference, give just enough visual cue for alignment without painting a target. The Fresnel lens optical landing system, the meatball, projects a precise glide slope indicator, a shifting ball of colored light visible only to the pilot on final approach. Inside the skin of the ship, red light is king in passageways and ready rooms, preserving that precious night adaptation. This obsession with darkness isn't theoretical. It's a lesson written in fire and steel. In World War II, German U-boats hunted Allied convoys by their silhouettes against the night sky. The Falklands War in '80 saw British warships, not fully darkened, become targets for Argentine attackers using visual cues. HMS Sheffield, though hit by an Exocet missile that homed on radar emissions, its fate was sealed by visual confirmation and the subsequent inferno. Even in more recent asymmetric conflicts, from the Gulf of Aden to the Red Sea, vessels lax in light discipline have paid a heavy price against drone surveillance and infrared tracking. The U.S. Navy didn't just learn these lessons, it elevated them to an art form. During the Cold War, our carriers became masters of operating in the shadows, exercises routinely simulating full EMCON in contested waters. Today, with reconnaissance drones and spy satellites overhead, operating in the South China Sea or near other hotspots, any unnecessary light is an invitation to the enemy's kill chain. So when you see that grainy footage of an F-35C lightning settling onto a seemingly black, silent flight deck, understand this: they are not landing blind. They are landing by feel, by system, by a doctrine that turns darkness from a terror into a tactical advantage. The carrier isn't lost in the dark, she owns the dark. She is a silent hunter, watching everything, waiting, ensuring that while she sees all, you, the adversary, see nothing. Because in this lethal game of hide and seek, the first to be seen is often the first to die. And that is a lesson the United States Navy never forgets.